I watched the Newbie episode 6, so you don't have to. And as I've said before, this is basically community service because the show isn't that great. It's not bad, it's just not good. Let's get into it. Jeg kender til fem. Det er ligesom robotter, det er koldt at se. De kender ham, han kan ikke kende sig selv. Men rolig min bror, du kan vende dig til. Jeg kender til rotter, jeg kender til fem. Det er ligesom robotter. For those who are new here, I do not participate in boycotts, trends, campaigns, social, political movements of any type. That used to be my past. I spent like the first half of my life very much dedicated to that. I have a bachelor's in sociology. I have a master's in women's studies. I was about that life. I'm black. I'm trans. Like, I used to be about it. I don't care anymore. Things have changed in my life, and all I care about is being happy and being surrounded by queer people. So that's what I focus on. If you want to boycott, that's up to you. I don't care. Don't come at me with that stuff. If you post anything on my comments about boycotting, it will be deleted. Anywho, let's talk about the Newbie. So episode 6 was posted. They did do a little bit of advertisement on their Instagram and their Twitter account, and I have it up. I'm not going to show it. You can go to their account if you want. The first thing on Instagram, just your normal post that they normally do. It does have quite a few likes. It has 942 likes as of this point. It's been about 8-9 hours since the video came out, and it has about over 300 comments. And I would say most of them are negative. Lots of throwing up emojis, shit emojis, people just making fun of the company, you would expect from the situation right now. And then on their Twitter account, same situation with the posting of the Instagram, pretty much the same exact posting, but it only has 90 likes or hearts or whatever, and 107 comments. And most of those are, pretty negative, just like I hate you, bring back FayeYoko, 4 Element stuff, people making fun of Juan being like balding or something. It's just, just really immature stuff. I don't really condone that stuff. Really, I don't condone that kind of behavior. It's pretty immature. But whatever, that's how people feel. Let's get into the show and my analysis of it. Okay. When I first watched this, I put it on my TV at home and I was going to watch it through the app online. And then I noticed that the subtitles weren't on. So I went to turn on the subtitles and it was Thai subtitles. And I was like, what's that about? So then I went into the settings and there was no English version at all. And I was like, oh, okay, so there's no translation for this. Okay, well, that means that there's no translation on the app, my phone app either, right? So I went on my phone app and there's no translation there, still Thai. Luckily on YouTube, for me, my settings do allow language translation. Often I watch a lot of Thai stuff, so it'll automatically go from Thai to English translation for me. It's like the algorithm translating the subtitles for you. So it's not perfect and it's slow. It's always like a couple seconds later. So I was able to understand what the show was about. But if you didn't have that Thai to English translation available, you would be completely lost. And that was a lot of the comments too. A lot of people were like, where's the English translation? And to me, I'm like, damn, is that like a big fuck you to the international audience? Or just like, we're not even going to focus on you. We're not even caring about translation. We're just going to focus on like our Thai fans. But if you do that, there's just not enough Thai fans to like balance that out right now. Like the whole 9 stars even being popular is because of the international market, and the international market is boycotting them. So it doesn't make a lot of sense. And I was like, wow, it's just a big kind of fuck you to the international fans. Also, there are lots and lots of Thai words on the screen that were not translated as well. So I had no idea what they said or what they were about. Part 1, like I said, starts with no translation, but you see the people waking up in the morning. They put cameras in their face right as they woke up, which is so weird. But the tone is kind of fun and light. It's really, really chill kind of thing. Kind of funny. You can already tell the tone is going to be like more fun and relaxed. They get up in the morning and they go talk to Mint. Mint tells them that they're going to have a challenge. It's like a mini challenge where you have to dance. So they get 20 minutes to film for like a social media post paired randomly. And they show them working on the challenge. Grace and Niall do something kind of simple. Gala Grace, the one that everyone hates, and Holly get more like intimate and sexy in their dance. And it's actually kind of funny. And it turns out to me actually be one of the better performances. Sorrow and Idea do something kind of funny. Peem and Crit Grace do something creative and funny. And then Newman 4-Wheel struggle a little bit because Newman's like, I am not a dancer. She's like, I don't know how to dance. And she's kind of shy. 4-Wheel makes it really hilarious and they do something fun. The weird thing though was that some of them were recording their social media posts and you could see the crew in the background. You could see the lighting. You could see the people walking around. It was kind of awkward. I was like, why didn't they choose a better background? No one told them like, hey, don't have the crew in the background of your video, like, or have other people who are doing their dances in the background of your video. But that's how it was. At the end of part 1, the winner was supposed to get like special privileges, but it wasn't revealed what those privileges were. And they didn't say who won. The show just kind of like ends on part 1. You just, okay, you're gonna get special privileges to the winner. All right, go to part 2. Then the winner is announced. Mint announces that Crit, Grace, and Peem are the ones to win, which I'm kind of surprised by. It's okay performance. It's just not that interesting compared to Holly and Galagrace, in my opinion. Mint describes the next challenge. It's a job or an activity that they have to do with themes, and so they choose the themes in order of whoever like Mint thinks did best in the first challenge. So Crit, Grace, and Peem go first, and they get to pick the first theme, and then so on and so on. They get to pick which theme they want. Then there's footage of like four of them, so different pairs in 2 different cars on their way to the activity, and they're laughing or whatever and like getting ready for it. It's very lighthearted. Holly and Galagrace are at an amusement park. They're looking for clues on a merry-go-round. It's so weird. It's very clear that this is staged and there's people on the merry-go-round who are like workers at the amusement park, and they're just like waiting for them to find their next clue. Cut to Peem and Crit Grace at an outdoor market. A random woman explains a mini game to them and then gives them 500 baht to buy clothes once they win the game. But the person who does that is never explained. You're like, who is this person? It kind of reminds me of the vlog that FayeYoko did, and like how Kiki was like telling them what to do, but we never really gotten like introduced to Kiki. It's just so weird. All right, then you go to Gracie and Niall. They go to a gym. They have to do like a workout for the next clue. They get it, and then they're told that they have to walk, I think, 19,000 steps. It's weird in the translation. It's not very clear. And I was like, 19,000 steps? That's crazy. I guess between the both of them, that's their challenge. Then it cuts to Noom and Four Wheel at the house, and they have to cook or bake. They ask Mint to help them with the next clue, and they have to play a game. They get a shopping list and some money. I think it's about like 1,000 baht that they get. And then Noom makes a joke about taking the baht they won and being like, oh, can I go home? Can I catch a taxi and go home? I think that's really telling. Noom has made other comments like about things that are going on, and you can already tell she's out. She already left the show. She already announced that she left, but the fact that you're even seeing it in the show, I think is very, very telling. Newman and Four Wheel end up going to the store, and they get their ingredients for their baking challenge or whatever they're doing, and they end up spending 990 baht, and they're super excited because they're like, oh, both of us can get 50 baht. No, they spent 900 baht. Sorry, they spent 900 baht, and they're like, oh, so great. So like now we can split 50 baht between us. Like they're super silly, but they were fun. Sorrow and Idea are at an outdoor space. I'm not really sure what it's for. It kind of looked like there's picnics and like faux camping. It's like a faux camping picnic kind of location. I don't know. And then the episode just ends. Then part 2 just ends. Go to part 3. Sorrow and Idea continue looking for clues. Peem and Crit Grace shop. Apparently you can walk on the clothes. They're like at a flea market or an outdoor clothes market, and the clothes are just in huge piles everywhere. And if you take off your shoes, you can just walk on top of it to find the clothes that you need, which is so very strange for me as a Westerner. I've never seen something like that, but apparently it looks like it's pretty common in Thailand to do that. So they're looking for clothes to do like a couple outfit, I guess. I don't know. They never actually put on the outfit. I don't remember them putting on the outfit, but they were looking for an outfit together. And again, this reminds me of FayeYoko's vlog, having the instant 360 camera, them looking for, having clues and stuff and looking for clothes and going around and being funny. I was like, wow, this is exactly the FayeYoko vlog. It's same thing. Very original, Juan. Very original. This further enforces my idea that Faye was like, what are we doing here? Like, doing the vlog is one thing, but then when you see what's going on with the newbie and like the tone and how things are going, it's like, why are we making this show? It's like, I could understand her perspective. Like, what is this? What is this company? And what is the show? And what are you making us do? What is our future here? Moving on, they cut to Noom and Four Wheel. They start baking a blueberry cheesecake. They're pretty cute, actually, and they have good chemistry. There's lots of laughing. I actually really enjoyed their dynamic. That was one of the more entertaining people together. Galagrace and Holly are back at the amusement park, and then they get on a water ride. Okay, Grace and Niall are back at the gym, and they're working out. They're literally working out on a treadmill, running around trying to get these steps. And then after a little bit of time, they both look at their steps, and they have a total of 5,900. And they're like, you know what? That's enough for us. We're gonna stop, and we're done for the day. And then the next thing you see is that they're back at the house enjoying beverages. So I don't know what happened if they like really didn't hit the. If I don't know if like 19,000 steps was the plan, or if they like both of them just gave up. They're like, I don't want to do this anymore. Or if the staff was like, okay, this is enough. We don't want to actually make you do all of this work, because it is kind of ridiculous making them work out to complete a task. It's just, this is supposed to like test their chemistry, I guess. I don't know. They cut to Crit, Grace, and Peem. They're running out of time looking for clothes, but in the end, they do find their clothes that they need. Cut to Noom and Four Wheel. They continue to bake, and then they finish their cheesecake. Then they cut to Saro and Idea going camping at the location. They end up inflating a huge tent by themselves, and it's like very exhausting for them. It's supposed to be like, oh, look what we did. We inflated this tent. Okay, great. Then they like sit next to the tent, grill some marshmallows, and have a drink, and then talk. And then while they were talking, Idea ends up burning. Was it Idea or was it? Yeah, I think it was Idea. Idea burns her marshmallows, which is kind of funny, but also like, okay, great. And then they cut to Gala Grace and Holly. They go on another ride. That's the end of part 3. Okay, part 4. Everyone is back at the house. Mint is explaining the last performance will be done in pairs. So they have to choose 1 or 2 people, actually 2 people. The first time they choose 2 people that they want to work with. So they put their names down on a piece of paper and then put it in a box. Before they vote, they cut to really dramatic music, and like everyone is like sitting by themselves on a chair. Super dramatic music's playing, and they're like thinking really deeply, like, wow, who am I going to pick? And they go to each person. It's like super dramatic, and I'm like, what is this? Okay, sure. We care. Like the audience should care about this, I guess. Then they go through the list. Gala Grace chooses Grace is Happy or Gracie and Four Wheel. Four Wheel chooses Gracie and Sorrow. Peen chooses Sorrow and Crit Grace. Idea chooses Holly and Niall. Sorrow chooses Gala Grace and Peem. Crit Grace chooses Peem and Holly. Niall chooses Idea and Gala Grace. Gracie or Grace is Happy chooses Four Wheel and Idea. Holly chooses Idea and Gala Grace. Noom chooses Holly and Gala Grace. The thing is like they told them like pick someone who you think you want to do this last performance with, you have good chemistry with, or whatever. Some people were picking people not based on like anything they've done with them before. Like I've never worked with this person, so I'm going to pick this person, or we had really good chemistry in the past or whatever. And some people who were paired today didn't pick each other, and they were like cutting to those people and being like, ooh, looks like feelings were hurt, like implying that. And I was like, okay, is this supposed to be like the drama of the show? I don't know, whatever. They do that. Then they go around once they figured out who people who had chosen each other, like who had picked who, they all knew. Then they did it again. So they went down and chose one name it could be someone's different name. It didn't have to be the same person they choose before to pair with. So they do it again. They go in, and only 3 pairs actually sync together. So that was Four Wheel and Gracie picked each other, or Grace is Happy. Idea and Holly picked each other, and then Sorrow and Peem picked each other. So then there's this dramatic music for the 4 left that didn't have a pair. They cut to Noom in the confessional, and Noom is like, I feel like I'm so much older. I feel like a mother to a lot of the girls, and that it's really hard for them to pick me or for me to pick them because we don't see each other in a romantic way, right? Because it's more of like a mother-daughter kind of situation, or a mentee-mentor kind of situation. So that's interesting. So they have to do it again. Those 4 people have to go again. They write one name on a piece of paper, put it in the box, and then Gala Grace ends up choosing Niall, and then that just leaves Noom and Crit Grace. We don't know if they chose each other. They're just like, okay, well, you guys are the ones who are left, so like you two together. Okay, all right. Then they do a group hug with Mint. Some people start crying. They say their goodbyes. That is the end of episode 6. I would say that it was fine. It wasn't a terrible episode. It wasn't a very good episode. It was incredibly long. I would say it was so goddamn long. It did not need to be that long. There are too many games. There's too much explanations on everything. Each episode probably should only be 30 minutes, not an hour. They're usually about like 45 minutes to an hour, and that's just too much time on it. I would say some people do have some really good chemistry, and some people are still kind of awkward. They've been in this house for 4 days, and they're trying to, like, I guess, gauge people's chemistry and stuff like that. But the games don't really, I don't know if they're really helping with that. Some of the games do make sense, and people, or the challenges that people have to do, you're like, oh, I can see where the chemistry could build. But a lot of it, I'm like, seems a little unnecessary, just wasting time. I just really feel like there could have been a better way to figure out chemistry between people other than like a variety reality show. I also want to point out, like, I'm from the West, right? I'm from California, United States of America, the fucking assholes of the world. And this show doesn't really resonate for me. It might be like a popular style in Thailand, and maybe like a lot of people like this kind of show, but like for me personally, I don't get it. And it doesn't like speak to me. Even though saying that, like, I'm like, oh, it's maybe geared towards more Thai people. You wouldn't say that from the viewership. They're not really even advertising the show. Like, they barely promoted. They promote it on their Instagram and their Twitter, maybe on a TikTok here and there, but they're not really promoting the show. I don't see any types of advertisement for it, and the low viewership kind of speaks to that. Like, no one's watching the show. The only time people watch the show is when Yoko or Faye are in a thumbnail. In this episode, neither one of them was in the show, and you can see that reflected in the low views. So I watched this 8 hours after it came out. Part 1 had 5,000 views with 216 likes and 58 comments, mostly positive comments, actually asking them for English subtitles. People were like, where are the English subtitles? I don't know what's going on. And then I would say maybe 10 or so were like negative comments. Part 2 only has 2K views, 95 likes, 18 comments. Almost all of them are positive. Part 3 has 2K views, 104 likes, and 15 comments, and mostly are positive comments. And then part 4 has 2K views, 78 likes, and 27 comments. Again, mostly positive. Mostly talking about how they love Holly, how they love Galagrace, and how they love 4-Wheel, which I would agree. I would say Holly, Galagrace, 4-Wheel, and Noom are the most interesting people. I could totally see them winning this show. We'll see what happens because Noom left, so she's definitely not a part of this. I don't know about Holly, Galagrace, or 4-Wheel. And that's it, guys. I don't know what else to say. I'm gonna keep watching the show because I am interested. It's like I said, it's not like absolute shit, but it's not good. So it's like I can watch it, I can still push myself to watch it, but it's not an interesting show, and there's not a reason for me to care that much. But I am curious, like how this is gonna end. This was episode 6. I think there are 10 episodes. I'm not sure. I have no clue. But they said the next episode is the last performance. So I don't know what that means. There's not much information about like how the show is structured or any information. I mean, they didn't have fucking English translations on this episode. But that's it. If you like this content, please like, share, and subscribe. And I will see y'all in the next one. Peace.
ได้หนูก็เลยเลือกเกรซและจะทำให้นุ่มและเกรซได้คู่กันไปโดยปริยายพอได้คู่กับพี่นุ่มหนูก็ดีใจแบบเหมือนมันเป็นแบบเราจะได้เรียนรู้อะไรจากเขาด้วยมีคุยกันนิดนึงว่าถ้าเราได้บทเป็นคู่รักเราจะแบบออกมายังไงดีเพราะเราก็ดูแบบหญิงทั้งคู่ขอให้โชคดีกับ last performance เจอกันอีกครั้ง last performance ค่ะอยากให้ทุกคนเก็บเกี่ยวประสบการณ์นี้ให้เต็มที่สู้ให้เต็มที่แต่อย่าลืมที่จะเห็นคุณค่ากับประสบการณ์ที่ได้ผ่านพ้นไปชีวิตที่มีความสุขชีวิตที่ดีคือชีวิตที่เต็มเปี่ยมไปด้วยประสบการณ์นะคะมีคู่กันเรียบร้อยแล้วไปทำการศึกษากันให้ดีทำความรู้จักกันเรายังไม่รู้เนาะ last performance จะเป็นอะไรแต่พี่เชื่อว่าถ้าเรารู้จักกันมากพอเราต่อสู้ไปด้วยกันได้แน่นอนพี่เป็นกำลังใจให้ทุกคนนะคะพี่ได้เห็นเจอนี่ทั้งหมดแล้วรู้สึกเอาใจช่วยทุกคนเลยเพราะฉะนั้นไม่ต้องแข่งกับใครเลยนะแข่งกับตัวเองก็พอโอเคมาขอกอดทีอะไรเนี่ยเก่งกันนะคะมันอาจจะทำให้เราต้องร้องไห้เสียใจแต่มันดีกว่าเราไม่ได้ทำอะไรเลยเพราะฉะนั้นอยากให้ทุกคนกล้าที่จะเดินหน้าต่อไปอย่างเงี้ยแล้วก็เก็บเกี่ยวประสบการณ์เติบโตไปกับมันขอให้ทุกคนทำตามฝันได้อย่างเต็มที่มีความสุขกับทุกวินาทีค่ะ
ดีใจที่รู้จักทุกคนนะคะก็หวังว่าจะได้เจอทุกคนอีกทั้งแบบในกองถ่ายแล้วก็แบบอาจจะข้างนอกหรืออะไรอย่างนี้ก็ดีใจมากๆที่แบบได้ใช้เวลา4 วัน3 คืนกับทุกคนที่นี่ค่ะ
เราได้ต่อคิวห้องน้ำมาด้วยกันช่วยข้างล่างหลังจากนี้เราจะไม่ต่อคิวห้องน้ำด้วยกันแล้วนะวิวดีมาก
ทุกอย่างมันใหม่มากๆสำหรับหนูรู้สึกเหมือนได้แบบเปิดโลกก็รู้สึกดีที่แบบได้เพื่อนใหม่อย่างเงี้ยค่ะได้รู้จักหลายๆคน
ก่อนนอนก็จะได้มีเมาส์มอยกับน้องๆอะไรเงี้ยค่ะกลับไปห้องก็น่าจะแบบคิดถึงเสียงที่อยู่รอบๆตัวแล้วที่เราได้นั่งคุยกันเหมือนกันค่ะ
รู้สึกแบบผูกพันกับเพื่อนๆพอสมควรเหมือนเราร่วมทุกข์ร่วมสุขกันมามันค่อนข้างเป็นระยะเวลาหนึ่งที่แบบสำคัญมากๆในชีวิตหนูเหมือนกัน
หวังว่าจะได้ร่วมงานกันในแบบไม่ว่าจะเป็นในโพสิชันหรือว่าตำแหน่งอะไรก็ตามขอบคุณที่เข้ามารู้จักกันทุกคนในแล้วก็ดีมากๆ
ถึงแม้จะเป็นแค่4 วันแต่มันเป็น4 วันที่เร็วจนใจหายมากนั่นแปลว่าเวลาที่ผ่านมาเรามีความสุขแล้วก็เอนจอยกับมันมาก
อันนี้เป็นแบบ
ประสบการณ์และเป็นความทรงจำที่ดีอย่างหนึ่งมากๆในชีวิตหนูเลยก็ได้ที่แบบตั้งแต่หนูเกิดมา
เวลาผ่านไปไวมากรู้สึกว่าแค่แบบ4 วันแต่ทุกคนแบบเปิดใจกันแล้วใจแลกใจมากทุกคนแบบน่ารักแล้วก็แบบจริงใจมากๆ
ทุกคนเก่งมากแล้วนะที่เข้ามาถึงรอบ10 คนสุดท้ายได้อย่ารู้สึกไม่มั่นใจในตัวเองแล้วก็อยากให้ทุกคนทำให้เต็มที่กับ last performance ก็รอดูแล้วก็รอเป็นกำลังใจให้ทุกคนอยู่
Helt op Jeg har ingen følelse for dem, når jeg fucked up Og jeg vil ikke dø, men de tester non-stop Hvis det ikke betyder den koks Mod systemet vi bokser De andre hopper som lopper Imens jeg også er en hosser